Hey everyone, this month marks the 10 years of me being in business, and I wanted to create a series that allows me to share everything that I've learned from my personal experiences to the pitfalls, the challenges, and mistakes that I'm sure are all valuable to you guys, so you guys can avoid, having that time go away where you feel like you could have progressed further. So I want to start the series by addressing an issue which I feel like is the most important, especially among BAME communities, especially among people who've come from ethnic minority communities, is getting family to support you in business. And I tell you why it's a challenge, because I know what it's like. In even for people today, when entrepreneurship is an accepted thing, 10 years ago, entrepreneurship or leadership or any of that was not accepted. It wasn't something that people saw as a norm. It wasn't something that people saw as, oh, it's a cool thing to do. So I had to go through my own personal challenges in order to deal with that. But I've learned how I could have avoided that in many ways, because our parents do love us. They do want to see the best for us. But often we're so caught up in what they don't do for us that we forget about these small things. So I'm going to share probably a few pieces of advice that might help you along the way in getting your family to support you in your business. Often when we're starting in business, they might see us as unemployed, undervalued, underpaid, and that could be frustrating. That could be very, very frustrating, because you're like, I put all this hard work into my day-to-day, yet I am not valued or appreciated. And that can question our self-worth, that can question our well-being, that can affect our confidence in so many different ways. Here's probably 5 tips that I feel like could add value to you guys, because if you can just follow these footsteps, it'll make your life easier. And they want to see change. And they need to see change, and you have to show that you're willing to change. And what I mean by change is not changing from a financial or business point of view, but changing as an individual. These are 5 things that I feel that could help you. Number 1 is spending more time with it. Just because you're an entrepreneur, you're a business, we get so sucked into the business of things that we forget to spend time with that family. They want you to do that. They always see you out and about. They see you running around from networking events and doing all that, but they're like, okay, you're supposed to be in business, you're supposed to have more time and freedom. Why don't you spend time with me? This can affect your relationship with your parents. This can affect your relationship with your spouse. So I do feel like you need to spend more time with your parents. Number 2 is engage in their spiritual practices. Engage with the things that they believe. My family were very religious, so if they saw me, focus on my religion a bit more, it often allowed things to be a little easier. It allowed them to say, okay, he's doing things for the better. So they didn't question the business aspect as much, because they saw me as an individual grow. That is looking after my health, hygiene, and fitness. Often we neglect ourselves as individuals and physically hygiene and parents, and all these things matter. And our parents are like, okay, you're running yourself to the ground, and they only want the best for you. They don't want you to have to go through the struggles that they did, because they gave you an easy life. So they want you to just look after yourself, go to the gym, look after your hygiene, make sure you're feeling great and you're looking great, and they will see that, they will notice that. Your parents notice everything, so that will make an ultimate difference. Some of the other things that I've made a note of, so forgive me if I refer back to my notes, is okay. The other thing is help around the house. And I know this is something I feel, okay, I do that anyway, but helping more around the house allows them to feel like you're supportive and they're not against you, but also you're a good person. You're not just there for your own selfish ideas, but you're also there to help them, that you're doing this for them. So the more you're supportive around the house, the more easier it is for them to be open to you. Like, I've noticed that my oldest brother set up a business, and my father supported him while he didn't support me. And that's nothing against my family at all. But I realized that he was more supportive around the house. He made time for them. He did more for them. And that equally gave him a level of respect in the household that I probably didn't get, or I didn't earn. And that was the other thing that I feel like that people probably neglect. Last but not least is value them. Ask them for their advice. Ask them for their opinion. We see mentors, we see, other leaders, we give them so much time, but sometimes, and even if you don't accept that advice, if you don't accept your family advice, but you just value them and take it with a pinch of salt. But the fact that you're asking for them advice is just showing them that you're engaged. Tell them what you're up to. Be transparent. Have that open level of communication as if they were a part of your team, not some outsider. Treat them as a stakeholder if you have to, or an investor. They're more likely to support you if they feel like they're a part of your journey. The last thing that I probably want to address is, and this might be a little harsh for many of you guys, but I do want to address it. Your parents don't owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. They don't have to support you in your business, and you have to accept that, because not only will it help you manage your expectations better, but it will help you understand that actually, they've done the best for me. They've rose me up. They gave me a household. They took me from hospital to hospital when I was growing up because I was prematurely born. There were so many things that they did that I just ignored because I was like, they don't support me, and that's all that I had in my head. So the minute I accepted that, they don't owe me anything. That's my responsibility for me to step up. They did the best they can to help me become a man, but ultimately it's my responsibility for me to take control over my life. And this is something that might be a hard truth for many of you, but I feel like if you were to just follow these steps, if you just follow these things that I've mentioned within this video, I feel like it will help you and open your eyes to build a better relationship with your parents. Because at the end of the day, if we ignore what's at home, then it's only going to affect our work. It's only going to affect our well-being. It's only going to affect the things around us. So I just want to address that issue, because it will save you so many years in heartache, because you built a strong relationship. You ignored your own selfishness. You ignored your own ego, and you actually focus on getting closer to your parents rather than further away. So for those of you who feel like, okay, my parents don't believe in me, or my parents don't support me, yes, they do. They may not understand it, but you have to accept it, and you have to do your best to love and show your appreciation towards them. That's all they ask for. So don't neglect your parents. So hopefully that will help. Hopefully that gives you a bunch of ideas of things that you can do. But ultimately, it comes down to, they're your parents at the end of the day. They're your blood. And you need to treat them better than anyone else. This is my first lesson, and there will be many more to come. So feel free to subscribe. Feel free to drop your thoughts and comments in below, and hopefully this is of value to you.